Okay, offer accepted. Now what? So, when you're first starting on your property investing journey, you start to look at lots of properties, whether or not that's on the online portals, Rightmove, Zoopla, on the market, and so on. Um, you then go on your viewings. You then start to put in offers. You get lots of not offers knocked back at first until you learn a little bit more about how to, stack the offer and so on. However, when you do get an offer accepted, what are the next steps that you should take? Now, for us, yesterday on Wednesday, the 26th of March, I think it was yesterday, Wednesday, the 26th of March, we had an offer accepted, which was fantastic. Now, this at the moment, again, I never like to count it as a done deal until I've got the keys in my hand, but what you should do is when an offer's accepted, when you've negotiated, and I'm going to go off on a little sidetrack here, don't fall for a rookie mistake where the agent, again, it all depends on the purchase price. If the purchase price is over a couple of 100,000 or 160, 170, don't fall for estate agent tricks where they say, well, if you go up an extra 5 grand and they'll do it in 5 grand increments. If there's another bidder or something like that, then surely another £500 or another £1,000 is better. So don't let them, take away your profit, because the more you throw into the deal, unless it's an absolutely amazing deal, the less profit there is there for you at the end. Because you need to make sure that you make your money when you buy your property, definitely. So yeah, a little bit of a tip there. Don't let the agent say, well, if you put in an extra £5,000 on top of it, or an extra £4,000, that'll definitely be it. I'd always say, no, well, I tell you what, let's go up 1,000 or something like that. But again, when I'm analysing, or when we're analysing the deals the offers that we're going to put in, say for instance now the property's up for £140,000. Our first offer, based on the work that it might need, might be 116, might be 117. We're expecting that offer to get knocked back. Okay. Now the second offer, then again, I've already got this planned. We might go, right, well, this second one we might go up to 121, 121 and a half or something. So I've come up like 3, 4,500 pound. Then the next one, if that gets knocked back, I'm not going to go up as big a jump as I did from first to second. I'm going to have a smaller gap and make sure that it's a little bit more intricate, the number. So 125,630 pounds, something like that. It gives them the impression that you've done your maths, which you should have done, and that's the absolute max that you're going to go to, and then that's it, really. Don't let the estate agent, pull your strings. Of course, there's going to be give and take there. It's negotiation, but yeah, that's one thing. Don't let them just say, well, if you throw in an extra 5,000 or an extra 4,000. Again, it's always dependent on the purchase price. £10,000 on a £500,000 property, it's not that much. £10,000 on a 100 grand property, you've gone up 10%. So just keep it all relative there. Anyway, going back to the main point of the video. So I need to get myself a little bit comfier there. So we had an offer accepted yesterday, Wednesday, the 26th of March, 2025. Now, the next things you should do then should be, of course, to confirm to the agent on the phone that you're going to get this over the line. You're going to keep them up to date. I always say, and again, I used to say this with the team, you need to make sure you keep people updated even if there is no update. That's a classic one. Keep people updated even if there is no update, because you want them to know that you're still there in the background, and you're chasing things through, so that when they speak to the vendor, they'll say, well, in my case, Mr. Dervish has said this, so he's still on it, and so on. You don't want them to think, well, he put in an offer on Monday and that was 10 days ago and we haven't heard from him since, what's going on. So always keep them up to date. So yesterday, when the offer was accepted, I then spoke to one of our main builders and said, what have you got coming up in about 3 months' time, 10, 12 weeks? And they said they're finishing off a big job, then they've got like a smaller job, but then they start in a really big job in about 4 months. Now, this for us, this refurb, if hopefully the property we purchase, should take about 2.5, 3 weeks if we're all on point and so on, and the rip out gets done quickly. We're getting things off site, getting things on site, and so on, getting all the trades aligned. Nothing ever works out that that well, but as long as we keep taking steps further forward. So if your offer gets accepted, obviously thank the agent, tell them that you're going to communicate with them quite often, set expectations. Second of all, then immediately, then I emailed our solicitor and said, we've just had an offer accepted. Here's a property address. Here's the purchase price. Here's the estate agents. Just keeping in the loop. Please, will you reach out to them or be aware of any communication? Third thing I did then was also speak to our broker again to see which way we're going to take it further forward. So we've got options, like I'm sure you will have as well. Are we going to take you down the bridging route? Are we going to go down a traditional buy to let? Now, the purchase price isn't huge. We may possibly buy it cash in order to then do a decent refurb, and hopefully everything works out fine, put it on a long-term product to pull a lot of our money out. So again, you should just make sure that as soon as your offer is accepted, don't start to count already the profit you've made, or the monthly cash flow, or your return on capital employed. Make sure that you're taking things a step further forward. So for us, like I said, contact the solicitor immediately to let them know we've had an offer accepted and we want them to do the work. Number two, speak to the broker again, tell them the same thing to get the ball moving. And number three, speak to your builder if it needs a decent refurb and so on, and let them know the approximate date. Now, if you haven't dealt with a solicitor before, or if you haven't dealt with a broker before, if you haven't dealt with a builder before, you always need to be putting feelers out and building up your power team. So for instance, I'd speak to other investors and say, which solicitors do you use? Because they'll always tell you, like, we use 3 solicitors, one for independent legal advice, but have also done conveyancing for us before, another one that does lots of our buy to lets with us, and then another one because we had quite a relationship. The process was quite good when we went through bridging finance about 18 months ago. But we've got one regular solicitor that we use. So again, it's about building those relationships. And again, those of you that do lots of networking, you'll understand, the importance of building a relationship. Property is a people's game. It's a people's business. So yeah, those are the things that I would do. I'd start to map in my calendar. And again, I'm a bit of a systems man. If you've read my book, you'll understand that as well. So I'll then put reminders in my calendar each week that goes by. 1 week since the offer's been accepted, 2 weeks since the offer's been accepted, 3 weeks since the offer's accepted. Because sometimes you can get to week 5 and think, what's actually happened? So that's definitely what you don't want. You want to make sure that you're pushing it further forward and don't let the momentum stop. So yeah, I mean, if you like this video, I know it's only a quick video, but please subscribe to the channel. Please like. It's only a new YouTube channel. If there's anything else you want to know about property investing and so on, please drop a comment in the comment section below. If I can give you advice, I definitely will give you advice. And yeah, my name's Dervish Dervish. I do work with property investors and a little bit different martial arts school owners that are ultimately aiming to build up a decent cash flowing business that provides them with income that allow them to build their ideal life, really. So quick recap again. When your offer's accepted, well done, fantastic. Contact your solicitor as soon as possible, let them know. Number 2, contact your broker, let them know. And then number 3 as well, speak to your builder or contractor to let them know you would expect to complete in 10, 12 weeks or something like that. And then also just start to put little reminders for yourself to know to keep the things on track. And another little tip to recap again, give people an update, even if there is no update. They will appreciate it. Thank you very much, everybody. Keep taking steps further forward. Do me a favor, please subscribe to the channel. And again, I'll try and build this up over the coming months, coming years, and so on, because I want to be able to help you take further steps forward. Good luck, everybody. All the best.